going to remain in the European Union. And if you extend this transition period, that would give her a little bit more time to sort that issue out. The problem is the hardliners who support Brexit see this as a trap. They think this means paying more money into the European Union for yet another year, while Britain would be obeying European rules, yet having no say over how they're made.
You mentioned how Theresa May is sort of negotiating on many fronts, right? She's trying to sort of get Brexit going. She's going to have to renegotiate deals with other countries, trade deals, and she's negotiating with her own party. Could this cost her her job, no matter how things end up?
Her job has been under threat really for more than a year now. Since the election she called last year, she wanted to get an increased parliamentary majority. She actually lost the one she had. There's no doubt that the volume of criticism, the volume of noise against her within her party has grown in recent weeks. The facts haven't really changed, however. Under the rules of the Conservative Party leadership, it's pretty clear that her enemies, her internal enemies, could force a vote of no confidence in her. But it's also pretty clear that they cannot by any means guarantee winning that. So she could emerge from that process strengthened. Now, those numbers, as I say, they haven't changed. They might change if and when we see a deal, if she negotiates that with the European Union, and we see the detail and the hardline Brexit supporters don't like it. But Mrs. May will hope that if that situation comes about, when the push comes to shove at the final moment, her internal critics will back away as they have done always so far.
Stephen, real quick in 20 seconds, we got to go. But the protests that we've seen, I mean, we've got people who are watching us here in the UK. One person tweeted at me, this is splitting our major parties apart. He was a person who voted to remain. You see those protests. How are people feeling about it?
Well, there was a huge protest. Around about 700,000 people took to the streets. And don't forget, British people generally don't protest. So this was a very big demonstration. But you have to bear in mind that in Britain, 1 million people protested against the war in Iraq, going to war in Iraq, and the war in Iraq still happened. The final action is going to be with Parliament, and Parliament will decide what happens next.
All right, Stephen Castle, thank you very much.
Well, meanwhile, the government spending watchdog has released its report into the potential effects of a no-deal Brexit. It warns that Britain is now out of time to adequately prepare if an agreement is not reached. The National Audit Office says the infrastructure to manage goods in the event of no deal cannot be built in time for Brexit, and businesses relying on smooth border checks will pay the price. Well, the report notes that Britain could lose access to crucial EU security and law enforcement tools if it crashes out without a deal. And if that happens, criminal gangs may exploit weaknesses at the border.
Unlike the state of things in member state parliaments initiating legislation, only the European Commission can propose directives or legally binding regulations. Neither the states nor the European Parliament have this power. But these proposals never just fall from the sky. The way it works, the European Commission listens to views across Europe for or against the creation of new laws. At this stage, MEPs are involved in the process, often adopting recommendations. Since 2012, European citizens can also directly request new draft laws. For that, at least 1 million people from no fewer than 7 countries must sign a petition. Having listened to all sides, the European Commission finally presents its bill. This is the start of a long legislative process that generally takes 12 to 18 months. The draft is then sent to the European Council, representing the member states, and the European Parliament, representing the citizens. In 80% of cases, the two institutions have equal power. This is called the ordinary legislative procedure. There's no question of legislating on everything. The Union can make laws on such issues as the environment, agriculture, consumer protection and transport, for example. The list is growing, but the member states retain an absolute veto on social security, on tax, foreign affairs or defence. But back to the bills. Before being adopted, they go through the institutional mill. The European Council and Parliament can amend the draft according to their interests, especially if majority positions emerge. Since member states and MEPs rarely agree first time round, they have to negotiate. There are two possible scenarios. Either the two institutions find a compromise and the draft law can be adopted by MEPs after a vote, or there's no agreement and the negotiations must continue. If the negotiations fail once, the clock starts ticking to find agreement before a certain deadline. If that fails, the bill is simply binned and the whole process starts all over again. But in reality, that happens very rarely. When there's agreement, the new European law is officially adopted and all member states must then apply it. Well, almost. Sometimes member states receive what's known as a derogation, the right to delayed implementation. If they fail to implement, the European Commission, as guardian of the EU treaties, intervenes to punish non-implementation. And if that fails, the European Court of Justice takes over. In the worst cases, states can be ordered to pay heavy fines, but that's another story.
What are we playing a drinking game? I want to go. Never have I ever colonised most of the known world. What am I like? What am I like?
Slider.
May I get your palest, warmest beer, please, Barkeep?
Sorry, this is actually my table.
How about now?
Why are you like this?
Should we pool our money together and, comment dire, get a picture?
Ja, natürlich. It's more efficient when we work together, no?
What? No! My beer will remain sovereign, thank you very much. England out. Scotland, you're coming too.
No, I don't want to. Get off me, big English barbaric! Oh!
You're embarrassing me in front of Germany. What kind of food do you do here? I can't eat anything with chili, pepper, paprika, or flavour. Do you know what? Just bring some sliced white bread to table 4. Cheers.
Oh, it says it's going to be 14 degrees tomorrow.
Where? So, remember earlier when I said I wanted to go to lunch?
Yeah, wait.
Huh? Slight mishap, chaps. I seem to have misplaced my wallet. So if you could spot me uno couple euros, that would be super fantastic.
Do you want to just rejoin the table?
Is that an option? I mean, no! Britannia will always have her independence. Save my seat. Sorry about that. Sorry.
That's fine.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't realise that you
Just
were...
give me a f***ing straw.
Never have I ever invented the internet.
Not how the game
Okay, never have I ever invented the vacuum cleaner.
around the group
Shut
of
up.
it's just
When is
one
the
Never have I ever invented Benedict
Shut up.
Cumberbatch. Okay, look, guys, come on. I know I'm a bellend sometimes, but come on, I'm fun. I'm a hot mess. Everyone loves a hot mess. Name a bigger hot mess than me. I dare you. Oh, my beer!
gentlemen look like educated men of good taste, I have here some rare old first editions.
Si le vieux vous embête. He's not bothering us. I'm interested in his books. Light beer. Oui, monsieur.
Now here are the complete works of Wilhelm Shakespeare, an old German writer. Heil Hitler. We move tonight. Orders from Berlin. Dr. Tobel is to be across the border before dawn.
But we have had orders not to break into his house, and he hides there. Hasn't been outside in weeks.
The Führer wants no trouble with Switzerland at the moment. We must be very careful.
If we can't break in, and he won't come out?
When the Führer needs something as badly as he needs the Tobel bomb site, there is always a way. Dr. Tobel is interested in my scientific volumes. He's seen my forged Swiss papers, and he believes I come from Luzern. No, gentlemen, the price is much too low. I could not possibly sell so rare a book for such a price. I will induce Dr. Tobel to come on a visit to my shop as we pass the alleyway. You are interested in this book? A rare old set of Bismarck papers. One last warning. I've just had word from Berlin. The English spine hunter will try to take Dr. Tobel from under our very eyes. They are sending a stupid, bungling amateur detective. His name is Holmes, or Holmes, or some such foolishness.
He will never escape from Switzerland alive.
Now, quick. Get me thrown out of here. And watch for my signal from Dr. Tobel's window. But, gentlemen, you promised to buy one of my books.
I told you no.
Stop bothering us. They are not so great. The price is...
Vieux, sors d'ici, c'est des plusieurs fois pas embêter les clients. Tranquille. Prends ton chapeau.
Je crois pour mes livres.
Prends les hautes parts.
Je veux pas aller à car.
Allez, sors. Reviens plus, hein. En fait, des clients, mais c'est le... Cochon. French. English. Oh, I hate those languages. Calm yourself, my dear Braun. In a short time, there will be only one language.
Good evening, Dr. Tobel. I have here some very interesting scientific books. I thought you might like to see them.
Please come in. He's entering the house. Quickly, get the car and have the motor running. I will follow. Herr X will have the Tobel bomb site at the Führer, while this Holmes is still having his tea. Now,
what are you doing? I am sorry. For months, every move I have made has been watched. I am not a coward, Mr. Holmes. They won't watch you anymore. Tonight, they intend to take you forcibly across the German border. Then why do we wait here, doing nothing, like rats in a trap? Calm yourself, my dear Dr. Tobel. We shall not only escape their trap, but we shall also take the cheese away with us. But how? The 4 sections of your bomb site fit inside these ponderous tomes. Although I must confess that I shied at the thought of disemboweling a complete set of Charles Dickens. Oh, but you cannot hide me in a hollow book. My dear fellow, I'm sorry that my good friend Dr. Watson isn't here to explain to you that my preparations are never slipshod. Stefan, Eric, why do you call my servants? Your servants, yes, but tonight they assume new roles. Let me present Dr. Tobel and our old friend, the bookseller. Holmes, it is so simple. Yes, the obvious always appears simple. Quick now, we must leave. Stefan, the knapsack.
Baker proving excellent decoys.
And the Gestapo has been fooled?
Completely. Their servants are leading them into the next street.
But what will happen to Stefan and Eric?
Nothing, don't worry. I've taken care of that. The way is clear. Come on, quick.
You would take the Nazis' own car.
One must adapt oneself to the tools at hand.
You think you made them believe you're a harmless old bookseller?
Yes, I've always felt that a thorough knowledge of the classics might come in handy.
But how can we get across the border and through France?
There's no need to get across. This very moment, a Royal Air Force plane is waiting for us at a secret landing place.
How long before we arrive in London?
In a very few minutes. We're passing over Dover now.
Thank you.
You'll have to get used to our London blackouts, Dr. Tobel. Dr. Watson's. Very untidy fellow.
What are we going to do with these?
A problem of the most elementary nature, my dear Dr. Tobel.
You are going to keep them here?
I have always believed in the theory, originally projected by Edgar Allan Poe, the American writer, that the best place to hide anything is where everyone can see it.
Yes, but...
You will remember, no doubt, in Poe's story, The Purloined Letter. The missive in question was always in plain view.
Hands up, gentlemen. Scotland Yard, quick.
Oh, my goodness.
Good evening, Mrs. Hudson.
Oh, why, it's Mr. Holmes.
Holmes? Hello, Watson, old fellow. Good to see you again. Telephone.
Hello? Who do you want? Oh, yes, you're Scotland Yard. I'm afraid there's been a little mistake. Well, you needn't get angry. We all make mistakes at times. What? Well, if we didn't, you'd be out of a job.
Dr. Tobel, this is my friend and associate, and as you may have observed, my watchdog, Dr. Watson.
How do you do, sir?
How do you do? Dr. Tobel and I flew in from Zurich this evening. You can put that thing away now, Watson.
Dr. Tobel, awarded the Massingham Bequest for physics in 1939.
My dear Watson, there is only one Dr. Tobel.
Without Mr. Holmes, there would have been no Dr. Tobel, I am afraid.
But I thought you were living in America, sir.
I have been working in Switzerland for the past 2 years.
And Holmes got you out?
In the nick of time. There was not a point he overlooked. Every contingency was foreseen and provided for. It was magnificent.
Thank you, Doctor. The problem was not without its interesting points.
Is there anything you would like, Mr. Holmes?
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Hudson. You can go to bed now.
You gave me an awful fright dressed up like that. Well, good night, sir.
He's quite right. You can't blame me for jumping to the conclusion that I did. He looked like a broken-down musician. Holmes, why didn't you take your fiddle with you? I never did think much of this dressing-up business.
It was necessary, I assure you. The Gestapo was close on our heels.
Really?
This is Sherlock Holmes.
I want to speak to Sir Reginald Bailey, please.
Reginald Bailey? Is that the fellow who played rugger for Blackheath?
Yes, Watson.
Oh.
Hello, Sir Reginald. Holmes speaking. Yes, from Baker Street. I have Dr. Tobel with me. Oh, thank you. Very well, then. I'll meet you in half an hour. There must be no delay. I'll arrange with Sir Reginald to have the test tomorrow morning. I suggest that only cabinet ministers and your best aviation experts be present. Naturally. Watson, I leave Dr. Tobel in your care. Give him a sedative. This has been a strenuous business, and he has a long day ahead of him again tomorrow.
Certainly, Holmes, of course. He shall sleep in my bedroom. I'll keep watch till you return.
Thank you. It is not necessary to guard me. I am quite safe now. Safe, Dr. Tobel? I shouldn't count on it for a second. But, Mr. Holmes... A great deal may depend on your safety. And the enemy understands that just as well as we do. Good night. Keep alert, Watson.
Yes, of course. A couple of these and you'll sleep peacefully through a blitz.
Thank you.
You better start undressing at once, or you'll find yourself fast asleep in the middle of taking off your trousers. Well, I'll sit over here and keep an eye on things. Oh, by the way, if you're nervous, call out.
Good night, Doctor.
Good night, Doctor. Both saying the same thing at the same time. Good night, Doctor.
Good night, Doctor.
That's it. Untidy fellow, Holmes.
Hello? Yes, I just arrived about an hour ago. It is most important that I see you at once. No, I cannot explain. It is now 5 minutes past midnight. I leave at once. Goodbye.
Holmes, I don't have to tell you how much this means to us.
We shall know a great deal more about the bomb site after the demonstration, Sir Reginald.
The War Office have a pretty good idea of the value of the Tobel bomb site, just as the Nazis have. However, if you'd care to place Dr. Tobel under the protection of Scotland Yard until tomorrow...
No, that won't be necessary. I shall personally deliver Dr. Tobel to your representatives on Salisbury Plain in plenty of time for the demonstration.
Thank you.
Good night, Sir Reginald.
Good night, Mr. Holmes.
Charlotte Averley, flat B.
Right. Get the car ready. I'll wait here until he comes out.
Is that what the Americans call doodling?
It is more serious than you could possibly realize, Charlotte.
Good.
More coffee?
No, thank you, darling. I must get back before they miss me.
We've been separated for so long. I couldn't bear it if anything should part us again. I want to work with you, and I want to know every minute where you are.
Even for you to know the details of my mission in London
is to sign your death warrant.
If you're in real danger, I want to share it.
There is one thing you can do. Guard this envelope. If anything happens to me, see that it reaches the hands of Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes,
Yes.
I pray I never have to deliver it.
He got away. Are you all right, sir? I think so. Must have been a robber. Since the blackout, those blighters become quite a nuisance, sir. I say, you better come with me and have that fixed up. Thank you. Just lean on my arm, that's it. Watson, wake up!
Huh?
Where's Tobel?
He's in there.
No, he isn't. He's gone.
That's impossible. He's asleep in my bed. I've been here all the time.
If anything's happened to him... Tobel! All right? Nah, it is nothing. Yeah, sit down here.
Let's have a look. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. Who patched you up? The police doctor?
Yes.
You look as if you'd been attacked.
Obviously, my dear Watson. Dr. Tobel, do you suspect the woman of arranging the trap?
Woman? What woman?
She's blonde, 5'6", full-lipped, and very affectionate.
Oh, really?
You've known her for a long time. You were attacked after leaving her apartment. Holmes, how do you know this? The face powder on your coat tells me of her height and her affection for you. You, held her close before departing.
Still there, Holmes?
It's all there for the trained eye to read, Watson.
But look here, why couldn't he have been attacked on his way to the woman's apartment?
The mark of a blow has erased some of the powder. Obviously, if the attack came first, the powder would have remained undisturbed.
And the full lips? That was a guess.
I never guess, Watson. You have rubbed the lipstick from your face with the handkerchief you now hold in your hand. And that amount of lipstick never came from a pair of thin lips.
And the blonde hair? Good gracious me.
Mr. Holmes, I am glad you are on my side. Well, in that case, you will desist from disobeying my orders and slipping out, while your bodyguard sleeps his watch away.
It won't happen again, Holmes. I was sitting in front of the fire.
All right, Watson, all right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now, can you describe your assailant?
I never saw him. A great figure came at me in the dark. I felt a stunning blow on my head, and instantly fingers were at my throat.
But you must have noticed something about him. Think, man. A thing of little consequence to you may mean a great deal to me.
Wait a moment. There was one thing. Long fingers at my throat like steel. And then an odor. A heavy, drug-like odor.
A drug? Opium?
That is it. I am sure of it now.
Well, I suggest we get the remains of a good night's sleep. Remember, the test takes place tomorrow morning on Salisbury Plain.
The principle of Dr. Tobel's device involves the use of 3 sonic beams. Is that right, sir?
That appears to be it.
There he is.
We're on the course now, sir.
Well, gentlemen,
that load would sink any ship in the world. We must consider the possibility of good piloting and a lucky hit. I like to see another try of it.
So would I. They want you to try again, sir.
He is coming into position now, sir.
We're on the course now, sir.
Well, gentlemen, how do you like the bomb sight now?
Marvelous. Will revolutionize aerial bombardment.
Inspector Lestrade.
Yes, Sir Reginald?
I hope Scotland Yard is taking every precaution to guard Dr. Tobel and his equipment.
2 plainclothesmen ride with him in his car, sir, and 4 others follow in another one, sir.
Good. He's coming to my office in Whitehall as soon as he lands. Shall we start, gentlemen?
Yes.
Here he is, gentlemen. Congratulations, sir. It was excellent. Amazing performance.
It was magnificent, Dr. Tobel. Magnificent.
I am glad we had such ideal conditions for the test.
I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it myself.
We've been through a lot, Holmes, but thank goodness he's safe now.
You brought your apparatus with you? No, Sir Reginald. I did not.
But why not? It must be lodged in the most impregnable vault in this building until we're ready to start manufacture.
I have arranged for a little office of my own. I intend to supervise the manufacture myself.
But you offered it to our government for our use. Everything Mr. Holmes has done has been with that idea in view.
I still offer it to your government, but no one else will know the secrets involved. I have devised a plan to guard my invention. A plan as intricate as the bomb sight itself.
If you imagine for one moment...
Please. I will not change my mind, Sir Reginald. I am taking the matter into my own hands.
Just what do you propose to do, Dr. Tobel?
I am sorry. I cannot reveal the details of my plan for the present.
Do you think that's wise?
I regret, gentlemen, I cannot change my decision. I shall work independently.
Can't you persuade him, Holmes?
But supposing something should happen to you, Dr. Tobel. You know, there's already been one attempt on your life.
And if Holmes' suspicions are right...
Quiet, Watson. There is no use discussing it, gentlemen. My mind is made up.
Scotland Yard will redouble the guard about you, Doctor. In fact, we'll quadruple it.
That is just what I do not wish done, Inspector. That would only draw attention to my activities. Good day, gentlemen.
Just the same, I'll have my men watching him every moment from now on.
No, wait, Lestrade. We must not offend Dr. Tobel. We must remember that he, as a citizen of Switzerland, is under no obligation to give us his invention. We must do as he asks. Don't you agree, Holmes?
To be sure, Sir Reginald. I'm not officially connected with the government, and I intend to remain on the case.
Good.
That is, if Inspector Lestrade doesn't mind.
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. We're always glad to have you hanging around.
Thank you.
You can put those away now, Lestrade.
Hoffner, I am entrusting this to you because, first of all, you are a Swiss. And second, there is no doubt in my mind of your ability.
I'm not Dr. Tobel.
I have divided the mechanism of my invention into 4 units. Each is meaningless without the others.
You have delivered the other 3?
Yes. No one but myself knows the identity of the 4 scientists working on the 4 units. Their names are not even known to each other.
I think I understand. From what you tell me, it will be easy to reproduce the unit assigned to me in any quantity you wish.
I knew I could rely on you. I will get in touch with you as soon as I have made the rest of my arrangements. No, the back door, if you please, Professor Hoffner.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Hello? Yes, Lestrade? Oh. Very well.
What is it, Holmes?
Just as I feared. Lestrade's men report that Tobel is missing.
Missing? Gone.
Yes, I was afraid of this.
How long has he been missing?
Practically since he walked out of your office yesterday. If you'd only given me the address of this place, I shouldn't have had to waste so much time finding it.
Empty. The bomb site's gone.
I didn't expect to find it here, Sir Reginald.
This is a pretty mess. If you knew this was going to happen, why the devil didn't you do something about it?
You can rely on Holmes implicitly, Sir Reginald.
Tobel's gone, and heaven alone knows where. Well, it serves me right for listening to that crack-brained idea of his. He dismissed Lestrade's men, and they went, leaving him here alone and unguarded. Holmes, if anything has happened to Tobel, if his invention falls into the hands of Germany, it will be a major disaster for England.
Christmas wrapping. He did his Christmas shopping in plenty of time.
Yes, curious.
Do you notice anything, Holmes? Scent. Perfume.
Yes, I noticed it the moment we entered the room. Claire de Lune. One of the rarer essences, and very expensive.
That woman again.
Undoubtedly. Give me Inspector Lestrade. Sherlock Holmes calling.
So Holmes is finally stumped. First time I've heard him call for help.
Call for help, indeed. He's only just beginning his investigation.
Lestrade, this is Holmes. Check the records and trace a call made on my private telephone at Baker Street at approximately 12 o'clock on the night of Dr. Tobel's arrival in London.
Finally stumped, eh, Sir Reginald?
Yes, Lestrade? Wait a minute. Charlotte, Aberley, 34, St. George's Street, flat B. Excellent, Lestrade. Thank you. Where is Dr. Tobel?
I can't tell you.
You mean you won't tell me?
I don't know.
How many Christmas packages did you take to him, Miss Aberley?
5.
He dismantled his bomb site and packed the units in 4 other boxes. Is that correct?
Pardon me. Hello? Yes? This is Miss Aberley. Why, someone must have stolen it. On Richmond Bypass. Yes. Yes, I'll arrange to have it removed. Yes, at once. Now I can be frank with you, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Tobel has disappeared. They found my car on Richmond Bypass, wrecked. I loaned it to him last night.
For what purpose, Miss Aberley?
He wouldn't tell me. But he said that if anything should happen to him, I was to give you this.
Holmes? Then he must have expected something.
Yes. This envelope has been opened and resealed.
Oh, but that isn't possible. It hasn't been out of my hands.
We meet again, Mr. Holmes.
What?
Why, that's not the message. It isn't even the same paper. I saw Dr. Tobel draw little sets of figures.
What kind of figures?
Well, they looked like little dancing men.
Dancing men? That's curious.
Who's been in this apartment since Dr. Tobel entrusted that envelope to your care?
Why, no one. I've had no visitors.
Think. Possibly a tradesman.
No. Only the one for a few minutes.
And that one?
A workman. He came to fix my light switch. He couldn't have possibly...
Did you send for him?
Why, no. My lights went out, and soon afterwards he knocked at my door and told me the porter had sent him up. That's where he worked. But he wasn't alone in this room more than 5 minutes. And he did fix the lights. They went on again.
The switch hasn't been touched. The paint still covers the screw heads. He simply threw the main switch in the basement, pretended to work on this one, and after a few moments, an accomplice threw the main switch back on.
But in those few minutes...
Did you get a look at his face?
No, only a glance. Now I realize he kept his face averted.
But he was a large man.
Yes, he was large.
His eyes heavy-lidded, a thin film over the pupils.
Then, Holmes, you
I remember now. His eyes, They were like a snake's.
Miss Aberley, Dr. Tobel is being held by one of the most brilliant men in the history of crime. Come along, Watson. There isn't a moment to lose. Goodbye, Miss Aberley.
Oh, goodbye, Miss Abbott. I don't see why I'm not allowed to go with you.
You have your own mission, Watson.
Yes, to take a sealed note to Inspector Lestrade while you search Soho.
I shall not be searching for him. I shall permit him to find me in the character of a murderous Lascar once in his employ, and whom I may add is still in jail.
Yes, but after all these years...
Make no mistake, Watson. This is not a duel of intellects with a cruel but single-minded Gestapo killer. This is our greatest problem, with England as the stake, and our antagonist, Professor Moriarty.
We've got to beat him. Once he's behind bars, I think I shall entitle my memoirs of these adventures The End of Moriarty.
An excellent title, Watson. But, we must arrange that it isn't Moriarty who's left to write the memoirs.
Huh?
Up she rises, up she rises early in the morning. Up she rises, up she rises, up she rises early in the morning. Up she rises, up she rises, up she rises early in the morning. Up she rises, up she rises.
Ram Singh. Ram Singh. Oh, no, Ram Singh.
I do. You blooming war threat. Been in jail, ain't you?
How you know?
I heard from the blighter what left you to swing instead of him. You know what I mean, matey.
I know. I'll have to kill him.
Would it be worth £10 to you?
You know where he lives?
For £10, I know.
Only got 2.
Goodbye, matey.
5.
£10 on nothing, you lying heathen.
You dirty thief.
Well, that ain't so much to ask for what you want to know.
You'll make good bargain.
That does it.
Well?
You remember Angel's Court?
Huh?
Then follow your nose through the alley till you come to Jack Brady's carpenter shop. He can tell you where the blighter is at this very moment.
You come too.
Me?
If you lie...
All right, mister, I'll come along with you. Easy, matey, easy. Follow me.
Please, Governor, I ain't had nothing to eat for 2 days. Please.
Go away.
Who's that?
Pegleg.
Who's this bloke?
He's a bloodthirsty heathen, but there's good money to spend for information.
What's he want to know?
He give me £5 to bring him to someone who could tell him the whereabouts of you know who.
You not tell me I cut two throat.
Cost you another £5.
£5 more, eh? You pay him.
Me?
Come on, you. Come on, pay him.
Right.
I'll tell you all right, I will. The truth, and that's a fact. The blighters in Davy Jones's locker are feeding the fishes he is, deader than a blinking mackerel. Now, ain't that worth a £5?
I tell you he's alive.
And I say he's been dead these many years.
You lie!
Easy there, Jack Brady. I would say you were wrong and Mr. Sherlock Holmes was correct.
Good evening, Professor Moriarty.
Welcome, Holmes. My men have instructions to bring anybody here who inquires for me. They haggle while I watch. An admirable disguise, by the way. It fooled them completely. Of course, it didn't fool me.
I never intended that it should. I meant only that it should bring us face to face.
Just like old times, eh? A battle of wits, of superior intellects. I may say I've been expecting you since I made off with your precious Dr. Tobel.
And his code.
Ah, yes, and his code. But valuable as your doctor and his code are to my business, I think my main interest in this affair is the chance it gives me to battle with you again.
Moriarty, this is no simple crime that you contemplate. It's a staggering blow against your own country.
That doesn't concern me overly. I shall make greater profit from this affair than all my other adventures put together.
Then you refuse?
Oh, most assuredly. In fact, I intend to ensure the success of this venture tonight by liquidating you, Mr. Holmes. I think that is the American phrase.
Quite.
You, the one man intelligent enough to stand in my way.
A gun? Oh, come now. This is not the Professor Moriarty, the master criminal I once knew. A dock rat could do as much.
Did you think I was going to shoot you, Mr. Holmes? Oh, dear me, no. This is simply to prevent a troublesome scene. I expected you and made full arrangements. You see, my good Mr. Holmes, these shelves lift out. And you will rest somewhat uncomfortably in the false bottom of this sea chest. My sailor friend, Jack Brady, goes to sea immediately. Once out of sight of land, he pushes the chest overboard. Time up. Perhaps your good friend, Dr. Watson, can entitle this adventure The End of Sherlock Holmes.
He will be disappointed. He intended to call it The End of Professor Moriarty.
Hurry. Brilliant man, Sherlock Holmes. Too bad he was honest. The one-legged man. He takes Mr. Holmes right to that carpenter shop. He knocks on the door. A man comes out, and in they go.
Well, thank you, George. We'll take over the watch.
Good night, Dr. Holmes.
Good night. What does Mr. Holmes hope to accomplish by this masquerade? He hopes to frighten Moriarty into rushing Tobel into another hiding place. Moriarty's dead, I tell you. Look out. Over here, quick.
Hey, just a minute.
Who's that?
What do you got there?
Let's ask him.
Scotland Yard?
Half a mo, Governor. I'll show you me papers.
That's it. There you are.
There you are, Governor. I'm Jack Brady, ship's carpenter. Shipping out tonight in a convoy. Destination unknown. My pal here's helping me get my chest aboard.
Make him open it, Lestrade.
Yes, go on. All right, Governor. See for yourself.
There's nothing here, Doctor. Just a couple of simple seafaring men. All right, get on with it.
Thank you, Governor.
Come on now. Easy does it, right? Good night, your lordships.
Told you it was a lot of nonsense.
I don't understand. That thing was way a ton. Look at those men staggering.
You hit on something, Doctor. A few tools wouldn't take that much energy.
We've just looked inside.
On the top only, there might be a false bottom. Hey, you! You stop there! Stop or I'll shoot! Great Scott, Holmes! Well, I'll be blowed.
You're not hurt?
No. Well, you needn't have yelled at them so abruptly.
Huh?
They dropped me on my head.
Oh.
Moriarty would have been delighted.
So Professor Moriarty is alive?
Alive and in possession of Dr. Tobel's code. No good going back. They've all gone.
And what are you going to do?
Well, first I'm going to wash this filthy stuff off my face. Then I'm going to see Miss Eberly again. I've got to find some clue to the content of Dr. Tobel's message. Come along, quick.
I only got one glimpse of the note while he was preparing it.
He was seated at this desk.
No, he was sitting on the couch when he wrote the message, but he sealed the envelope here.
The message was written in ink with this pen?
No, he used a pencil. This one.
Thank you. Used this writing pad?
Yes.
Has it been used since?
No.
They should be here. They must be here.
What, Mr. Holmes?
The lead in this pencil is hard. Hard enough to make an impression on the coarse fibers of which this paper is made. The impressions at the moment are invisible. If we immerse this sheet in a solution of fluorescent salts, dry it, and then photograph it by ultraviolet light, the fibers broken by the writing will absorb less of the solution than other parts of the paper. Switch off the lights, Watson. We place the slide in the projector and turn on the light. The broken fibers appear darker than the rest of the paper and are therefore visible.
Splendid, Holmes. Now I recognize that code. Do you remember a case we had some years ago? It's probably the same, alphabet substitution code.
Yes, Watson. I believe Dr. Tobel meant to communicate with us by that means.
Substitution of the alphabet. I don't understand.
My dear, one of the oldest codes in use is based on the repetition of figures. E is the letter most used in the British language. Therefore, the figure most used, probably, in this message is E. T, A, O, I, and N follow in that order of frequency.
You mean you can read these figures as if they were letters of the alphabet?
Elementary, my dear Miss Eberly. Give me 1 minute, and you shall have the message.
And what is the message, Watson?
This fellow Tobel must have been pulling our legs. It's a lot of gibberish. I-Y-Z-L-M-T-H-K. Reads like an eye doctor's chart.
Dr. Tobel is a brilliant scientist. I saw immediately that he wouldn't send us a message so simple to decipher. Neither would he have fixed these top figures without a meaning.
Then it isn't the alphabet substitution code.
Yes, it is, Watson, but with a very clever variation. You see, the 1, 2, 3 figures means that we skip letters in that order. In other words, observe, Watson. The first letter, which is I, skips 1 and becomes J. The second letter, Y, skips 2 and becomes A. And the third skips 3 and becomes C.
J-A-C.
J-A-C-O-B-D-U-R-R-E-R.
Jacob Dürer, a Swiss scientist and friend of Dr. Tobel's.
P-A-L-A-C-E-C-R-E-S.
Paris Crescent.
Right.
I say, Holmes, this man Dora must be important.
Obviously, Watson. He must have some connection with the bomb site, or Tobel wouldn't have taken so much trouble to see that I got his name. Take down the rest of the message. J-O-S-E-P-H, Joseph.
E-M-D-D-I-A-C. Number 4 doesn't make any sense. He must have used some other variations.
4 names and addresses. Jacob Dürer, Professor Farrell, Dr. Kern. And this 4th infernal cipher, which doesn't fit the code. Christmas boxes. Watson, I'm beginning to see the plan. Dr. Tobel divided his bomb site into 4 parts, just as we brought it back from Switzerland. He's given one section of the mechanism to each of these famous scientists. What a fascinating plan. You see, each part is useless without the other 3, and undoubtedly, none of these scientists is known to each other. Professor Moriarty also has the code, and we must allow for his ability to decipher it. We haven't time to break the 4th code now. We must get to the first 3 men before Moriarty does.
Palace Crescent first?
Right.
I'll go and get a taxi.
Miss Everly, will you please wait here till we return? Thank you.
Here, where are you going, sir?
Jacob Dürer live here?
Yes, but there's been a bit of trouble, sir. You can't go in. Inspector Lestrade's orders.
Oh.
Here, just a minute, sir.
That's Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, very sorry, sir.
Dead as a doornail. Mr. Holmes, how did you know about this? The yard only heard 15 minutes ago.
We better hurry, Holmes. There's still time to save Farrell and Kern.
Too late, Watson. By this time, Farrell and Kern are dead, too.
What? Deductions again, Mr. Holmes?
Facts, Inspector.
Oh, facts.
But how do you know about them?
Elementary, my dear Watson. This man has been dead for at least 2 hours. Moriarty isn't wasting any time.
Hello? This is Lestrade. Put me on to McAtee. Oh, McAtee? Oh, this is Lestrade. Do you know anything about 2 men named...
Farrell and Kern.
Farrell and Kern? What, both of them? Oh. Thank you. Report only came in 2 seconds before I telephoned.
What on earth are we going to do, Holmes? Moriarty's got a big start and he's got the code.
Note this, Watson. Scotland Yard reports 2 murders. That makes 3 in all. But there were 4 boxes and 4 codes. Obviously, Moriarty hasn't broken the 4th code either.
What is the name of the 4th man?
I can't remember.
What is the name of the 4th man?
I have forgotten.
What is the name of the 4th man?
I don't know. I don't know.
What is the name of the 4th man?
I can't remember.
Fourth man. What is the name of the 4th man?
What is the name of the 4th man?
Holmes, don't you realize what this means to England? We not only lose the Tobel bomb site ourselves, but Germany gets it. Coventry, Bath, Plymouth, London. Not to mention Norwich and Hull. All over again, but with 10 times the effect.
Don't you suppose I realize that's Reginald? Don't you suppose I'd give my life to decode the last name of that message?
Well, there must be some solution.
Naturally, Watson.
You needn't be rude. I need a drink. I'm all in. I can't think anymore. All these letters and figures whirling through my brain. It's all twisted round.
Twisted round?
Huh?
That's it. That's what? Twisted around, you said. So simple, I never thought of it. Reverse the slide. You see, gentlemen? These figures are now identical with the first 3 names. In other words, all the figures of name number 4 are written backwards and read from right to left until we reverse the slide when they read correctly from left to right. Now, let's work on it. Pencil, Watson.
But, Why would Dr. Tobel want to reverse the figures of number 4?
An added precaution, Lestrade, in case the cipher should fall into the wrong hands.
Quite a compliment to you, Mr. Holmes. I mean, Tobel taking for granted that you would recognize the difference.
Thank you. F-R-E-D-E-R-I-C-K-H-O-F-F-N-E-R. Frederick Hoffner. S-L-O-A-N-E-S-Q-U. Sloane Square. We must leave at once. Wait a minute. Information? Will you please give me the address of a Frederick Hoffner in Sloane Square?
I'll break this code. I'll find the name of that fourth man before Holmes does.
There is not much more time. The submarine is to pick us up off Sheerness in 6 hours.
I've beaten Holmes so far. We'll meet your confounded submarine with the bomb site intact.
But Tobel is unconscious again. As last resort, we could abandon the code and take Tobel to Germany.
We'll try Tobel again in here. Wait. Spilling that glass of water was a very fortunate accident, my dear street brawler. Dr. Tobel's perversion of the cipher was so simple that it fooled us. I was looking for something ingenious. This is ingenuous. He simply reversed the cipher. F-R-E-D-E-R-I-C-K-H-O-F-F-N-E-R-S-L-O-A-N-E. Frederick Hoffner, Sloane Square. Of course. Hoffner would be the perfect selection.
Then you want us to attend to Hoffner?
No, we can use Hoffner. He's a brilliant scientist. If Dr. Tobel doesn't recover from your persuasion, Hoffner will be able to put the 4 parts together. You and Godfrey will call on Hoffner, and you will bring him here with the 4th section of the bomb site. Hurry.
Put up your hands, Professor Hoffner.
I'll take the box. We meet again, Professor. Sherlock Holmes.
An improvement on the other makeup. Don't you think so, Professor?
So you think you've beaten me, Holmes?
I have. The real Hoffner is safely in the hands of Scotland Yard.
But I still have Tobel. Now I shall sell Germany the inventor instead of the invention.
You've learned nothing from him in spite of all your torture. Otherwise, you wouldn't be trying so desperately to collect the 4 sections of the bomb site.
A keen observation, my dear Holmes. But observe further that you are now in my hands, and I have profited by my last mistake of allowing underlings to attend to you.
Holmes took my place, and while the Nazis were inside with him, he instructed me to attach a small...
He's a brilliant fellow, Holmes. I helped him prepare the apparatus.
Did you really, Doctor?
That is, I poured in the luminous paint when you told me to.
Very clever, Dr. Watson.
The apparatus drips at regular intervals, leaving a trail of luminous paint.
I see, leading us to Moriarty and Mr. O.
Why are you so confident, Professor? Only a suggestion. But how do you know that Scotland Yard isn't waiting to break in at this very moment?
I selected this address with special care. No one can find it, not even Scotland Yard. Relax, Mr. Holmes. There's no escape.
I might suddenly dash to the window, break it open, and shout to a passerby.
There are no passers-by. The glass in the window is unbreakable, and the room is soundproof. This is my stronghold, Holmes, equipped with all the modern conveniences of a successful man in my profession. Sit down.
They faded out again, sir.
I don't understand, Lestrade. It stopped, and then it started, and now it stopped again.
Maybe the apparatus broke down. Oh, a suggestion, gentlemen. At a crossroad back there, a car might have gone over the spots of paint, picked some up on the tires, and left his false trail.
That's just what I was about to suggest myself.
Very well, we'll try it.
Now, Holmes, what will it be? The gas chamber, the cup of hemlock, or just a simple bullet through your brain?
You disappoint me, Professor.
Indeed?
Yes. Somehow I always thought that in the end, you'd prove to be just an ordinary cutthroat.
You know me better, Holmes.
Gas, poison, bullets. I assure you, Professor, were our positions reversed, I should have something more colorful, more imaginative to offer.
I'm satisfied to be the winner. I shall be alive.
Alive, yes. The winner, no. For in the last analysis, I shall have proved the more resourceful man. You didn't trap me here. I came here because I wanted to prevent your getting Hoffner. And all you can do in return is to commit ordinary murder to relieve your sense of frustration.
And what, my good Mr. Holmes, could you have conceived that would have been so much more colorful?
Well, even offhand, I can improve upon your suggestions considerably, but that's only natural, of course.
And what is this brilliant idea of yours?
You know that a man dies if he loses 5 pints of blood? Yes, of course you do. I should have you placed on an operating table, inject a needle into your veins, and slowly draw off your life's blood.
The needle to the last. Eh, Holmes?
Slowly, drop by drop, the blood would be drawn from your body. You would be aware of every exquisite second to the very end. You would be watching yourself die scientifically, noting every reaction, and in full possession of your faculties.
Interesting.
Yes, isn't it? I humbly submit, Professor, that to the very end, I've been more resourceful than yourself.
You've played into my hands, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Time and again I've used this place as a haven for friends of mine, injured in altercations with Scotland Yard. I have a fully equipped hospital here.
The trail goes this way, Inspector.
Drop by drop, Holmes. Drop by drop. In a way, I'm almost sorry. You were a stimulating influence to me. But it was obvious that I should win in the end.
only a matter of moments now. Take Tobel down to the boat. Start the engine. Closer to the end, Holmes. Closer and closer. Each second, a few more drops leave your desiccated body. And you can feel them, can't you? You're perfectly conscious, aren't you, Holmes?
I shall be conscious long after you're dead, Moriarty.
Ha! Still the same old swaggering, conceited Sherlock Holmes. Wait.
If Moriarty hears a shot, he'll kill Holmes. You keep an eye on the boat. Don't make a move till Dr. Watson and I get inside. Understand? You wait here, Professor Offner. Come on, Doctor.
The water's this way. Moriarty's rooms must be out here.
I can't wait any longer, Holmes. You'll have to forgive the crudity, my friend. This is only the coup de grace.
Stand still, Moriarty, you're done for.
Holmes! On the contrary, Inspector, my men are outside. It's you who are done for.
Really? Just take a look out the window and see for yourself. He'll try to get to the speedboat.
Yes, he won't go without Tobel.
Come on.
Wait.
Here's Dr. Tobel, Inspector. He ain't too badly hurt.
Thank heavens for that. Look after him, will you, Hoffner?
I'll take him to the car.
I expected you, but not with my revolver.
You realize, of course, when I was brought into the room blindfolded, that I heard the mechanism of this door?
Of course.
And yet, knowing that I'd heard it, you planned this way of escape. Not very flattering to me. Suicide, my dear Professor.
Not at all, my dear Holmes. You see, this is not an ordinary passageway. Oh, my mistake. It has been as equally well prepared as the rest of my humble quarters. I have a trap set, electric eye principle. My passing through will break the beam and automatically open a highly deceptive trap door. Behind me, of course, my pursuer, meaning you, my dear Holmes, will then be plunged 60 feet into the sewers below. Holmes!
Holmes! Poor Moriarty. I neglected to warn him. It seems some careless person came across his trap door and left it open. Come along, Watson.
Germany wanted the Tobel bomb site. We'll send her thousands of them in RAF planes.
Yes. Thanks to Mr. Sherlock Holmes and to Mrs. Tobel.
And of course, Inspector Lestrade.
Oh, that's all right, miss.
Things are looking up, Holmes. This little island's still on the map.
Yes. This fortress, built by nature for herself. This blessed plot. This earth, this realm. This England.
Well, I grew up in a Scotland where the decisions about our future are taken by the people who care most about Scotland, the people who live here.
During the referendum, big promises were made to the people of Scotland. The promise was made of more powers for Scotland, and that the Barnett formula, the system used to allocate money to Scotland, should be maintained. The day after, David Cameron emerged from Downing Street talking of more powers for Scotland and England's MPs. The UK government set up the Smith Commission to decide which powers Scotland should get. The Scottish government made the case for substantial new powers, while the No campaign parties cut back on the promises they made before the referendum. But limited new powers were proposed, powers we want to use for the good of Scotland. Alongside these new powers, a new system of allocating money to Scotland needed to be agreed. This is called the Fiscal Framework. The Smith Agreement, signed by all political parties, outlined a core set of principles for the fiscal framework, and of these is the principle of no detriment. This principle means that Scotland should not suffer financially just because we gain new powers. The Treasury ignored this. From day one, they tried to use the process that was supposed to be about delivering new powers to slash Scotland's budget. And not just on a one-off basis, but forever, year after year. At the start of negotiations, they proposed a £7 billion cut. Then it was £3 billion. Then it was £2.5 billion. They were trying to use the referendum to say to Scotland, heads we win, tails you lose. Throughout the many months of negotiations, the SNP were clear. We would not sign up to a deal that shortchanges Scotland. We demanded a fair deal and the powers that were promised to Scotland. Finally, they agreed. The SNP secured a deal that ensures Scotland will not be a penny worse off and the new powers will be delivered. It is the SNP's job to stand up for Scotland, and by neutralising a Treasury cash grab on Scotland's budget, that's exactly what we've done.
A poll for the Evening Standard has found that 78% of the British public believe Theresa May will not get a good deal on Brexit. This new poll revealed by the Evening Standard is pretty devastating for the Prime Minister. It reveals that confidence in Theresa May is lower than ever, and it was never very high. The Standard reported on this, and they said, confidence in the Prime Minister to get a good deal in the Brexit negotiations has fallen to the lowest level yet. Just 19%, fewer than a fifth, of Britons think she can pull it off, a figure that has plunged from 28% last month. Some 78% think she will fail, up 8 points in a month. Some 43% think they will personally be worse off after Brexit, which has shot up from 36% a year ago. Only 18% think their standard of living will rise, despite the Brexiteer promises of prosperity outside the EU's giant trade bloc, which is down 2 points. 1 in 3 thinks Brexit will make no difference. Almost half the country, 49%, feel the negotiations are going worse than expected. I mean, when Theresa May and her government have negotiated Brexit this badly, to the point where negotiate really isn't the word for it, is it any wonder that people might now be thinking negatively about Brexit and thinking that Brexit might actually be harmful for this country? Theresa May took an amazing opportunity. She dropped it, she stood all over it, she spilled coffee on it, she ruined it, ruined this great opportunity, and now the British public feel like it's not going to work out. And just when we thought that we might be fighting back against this disaster and Prime Minister, and we might be able to actually change course last minute and get a good deal, the Prime Minister has managed to survive a 1922 committee meeting. Yep, that committee meeting we were waiting for. We went over the 48-letter minimum required to push for a vote of confidence in the Prime Minister, and 50 letters were actually submitted to Sir Graham, the chair of the 1922 committee, and the Prime Minister had to face them at the 1922 committee meeting, which we've all been waiting for. And you know what happened? She survived it. She only bloody well went and survived it. Theresa May, there's some words I could use for her that I'm definitely not going to use today, but she survives things very well indeed. She clings on extremely well. Somehow she managed to survive this meeting. I mean, why on earth would the people that submitted the letters to get her into this meeting suddenly back out last minute and support her when they meet her face to face? How have these people lost their backbone so quickly? Jessica Elgard of The Guardian tweeted about this, and she said, "One MP leaves declaring outbreak of unity, not a single dissenting voice at the 1922. Is she safe? Well, you look over the cliff, consider the alternative, and then think, perhaps not." So MPs aren't happy with her, submit these letters to the 1922 committee, hold the meeting and decide, oh, maybe we were wrong. I mean, seriously, the reports in the press sound like the meeting ended with a very happy bunch of rebel MPs, so-called rebel MPs, with newfound confidence in the Prime Minister. Tory MP for Torridge and West Devon, Geoffrey Cox, claimed the Prime Minister's speech was very good. And Sky News reported from Alan McGuinness, he said, very happy, all good. Smiles one MP as they stride out of the committee room. McGuinness also claimed that the former Home Secretary, Amber Rudd, remember her, even claimed that the Prime Minister is now in a stronger position than she was before the meeting, and that she spoke emotionally and personally. MPs in turn reassured her that they would condemn any further violent language against her. So she turned this from being a meeting about her leadership and evidently, I don't know, maybe got a bit teary-eyed and upset over the nasty language being used and used that to her advantage. Shocking. So a new poll reveals that almost 80% of Brits think that the Prime Minister's not going to get a very good deal on Brexit, showing the vast majority of Brits have simply lost faith in the Prime Minister. And our only hope of changing course was the 1922 committee meeting where MPs pushed for a change of leadership, and those MPs backed out last minute. Theresa May survived the 1922 committee meeting. We had the opportunity to oust May finally, but she gave an emotional speech to a room of so-called rebels, and they all seemed to just change their minds. Typical spineless Tories. Not only can we not trust the Remain Tories at this point, we can no longer trust Brexiteer Tories. The great betrayal is no exaggeration. The great Brexit betrayal is happening before your very eyes.
There have been reports today that the government is willing to agree that the European Court of Justice would be the final arbiter in most cases arising from Brexit. As this would be inconsistent with the Prime Minister's previous commitments, will she authoritatively deny it?
Prime Minister. I say to the honourable gentleman, I haven't seen those particular reports. I see quite a few reports about claims about what is happening in relation to Brexit. I haven't seen those particular reports, but if they are as he has suggested, then they are wrong. We have been very clear in the work that we have been doing about ensuring that in the future the European Court of Justice does not have jurisdiction in the UK.
Tonya. Grounded airplanes, a potential nightmare for the British airline Flybe in Exeter come March 2019. About 30% of the carrier's flights are either to or from the EU, but leaving Europe's aviation market could strip Flybe, like all British airlines, of their operating licenses for the EU.
If it were a cliff edge, extreme, what I call cut the umbilical cord, those 30% don't exist any longer. That would be my interpretation of an extreme hard Brexit. They don't exist. Those flights would not continue to operate.
But that has not yet stopped Flybe from selling tickets for flights after Brexit.
If you stop sales and your competitors remain in place, then you're handing it to them, and who knows the outcome of Brexit. So we continue to remain on sale, we continue to sell seats.
Air traffic rights are just one post-Brexit problem. Another prickly issue is airplane safety. Currently, only the EU's Aviation Safety Agency can give planes approval to fly. The UK government wants to stay a full member of the institution, but the EU, says Paul Everett, has ruled out cherry-picking.
Unfortunately, on both sides of the negotiations, it is effectively a political negotiation, both in the UK and in Europe. So this, and those political priorities are at the moment kind of shaping what can and can't happen. But if change is necessary, we are already, not so much 5 minutes to midnight, we're in, a minute to midnight territory.
The interests are vast. The UK aerospace industry generates 36 billion euros in revenues a year and employs some 120,000 people. London City Airport CEO Robert Sinclair tells us that it was Europe's liberalised aviation market that drove down prices and made flying affordable for all.
Our markets and our countries and our economies and the free flow of passengers for many, many years is so interrelated, so interconnected. And it's actually in the interests of all sides in the UK, but also in mainland Europe, to maintain that level of connectedness that people have enjoyed for so many years.
Sinclair would like to see the aviation market separated from the more contentious issues in the Brexit negotiations. But the other 27 EU countries remain closely aligned, unwilling to give away the EU's most obvious advantages up front.
The UK's aviation industry expected some turbulence, but now a storm is coming. The industry feels they've become a bargaining chip in the negotiations, and that makes the prospect that planes could stay grounded a lot more real.
The UK could face a no-deal scenario if the EU takes a deliberately intransigent approach to Brexit talks, the UK's negotiator told Parliament. It comes amid reports Britain is readying parliamentary preparations for a no-deal exit in less than 3 weeks' time.
We're also following the latest developments on Brexit. Tens of thousands of people protested the United Kingdom's plan to leave the European Union earlier this week.
However, Prime Minister Theresa May and her government are plowing forward. She says the Brexit deal is 95% complete.
And this progress in the last 3 weeks builds on the areas where we have already reached agreement on citizens' rights, on the financial settlement, on the implementation period, and in Northern Ireland, agreement on the preservation of the particular rights for UK and Irish citizens, and on the special arrangements between us, such as the Common Travel Area, which has existed since before either the UK or Ireland ever became members of the European Economic Community. Mr. Speaker, taking all of this together, 95% of the withdrawal agreement and its protocols are now settled.
For more on this, we want to bring in New York Times London correspondent Stephen Castle. So, Stephen, can you just sort of take us through the latest developments on negotiations? What are the biggest issues facing the Brexit process, at least right now?
Well, as you'll have heard Theresa May there saying that 95% of the deal is done. The problem is that the 5% that hasn't been done is the most difficult and the most crucial element of this. And of course, don't forget the context. Britain is due to leave the European Union in a little bit more than 5 months' time. And if there isn't an agreement at that point in March, then one risk is that Britain could have a disorderly Brexit. This could be economically very damaging. We could be talking trucks stuck in ports. We could be talking significant damage to business and to industry. So it's crucial for Theresa May that she gets some deal. The problem for her is that she's fighting on several fronts. Not only has she got to negotiate this deal in Brussels with the European Union, she's also got a problem at home where she's negotiating with her own cabinet, which is deeply divided, and where a number of members are hardline supporters of Brexit. They want a cleaner break with the European Union than Theresa May does. So she's not only got to get a deal with the European Union, she's got to get it through her own cabinet, and then she's got to get it through Parliament. And there, the numbers, whenever it goes to Parliament, could be extremely tight.
Stephen, is the PM open to exploring a possible extension?
Yeah, the debate last week, it blew up again, and this was over the issue of the transition period. At the moment, the provisional plan, is that until the end of December 2020, more or less nothing much would change while the details of the future trade arrangement are sorted out. And one idea was to extend this transition period. This was, in fact, designed to help Theresa May because she has a problem. She needs to try and resolve the issue of the Irish border and to ensure that there are really no big, heavy physical checks at the border between Northern Ireland, which is part of the UK, and Ireland, which is going to remain in the European Union. And if you extend this transition period, that would give her a little bit more time to sort that issue out. The problem is the hardliners who support Brexit see this as a trap. They think this means paying more money into the European Union for yet another year, while Britain would be obeying European rules, yet having no say over how they're made.
You mentioned how Theresa May is sort of negotiating on many fronts, right? She's trying to sort of get Brexit going. She's going to have to renegotiate deals with other countries, trade deals, and she's negotiating with her own party. Could this cost her her job, no matter how things end up?
Her job has been under threat really for more than a year now. Since the election she called last year, she wanted to get an increased parliamentary majority. She actually lost the one she had. There's no doubt that the volume of criticism, the volume of noise against her within her party has grown in recent weeks. The facts haven't really changed, however. Under the rules of the Conservative Party leadership, it's pretty clear that her enemies, her internal enemies, could force a vote of no confidence in her. But it's also pretty clear that they cannot by any means guarantee winning that. So she could emerge from that process strengthened. Now, those numbers, as I say, they haven't changed. They might change if and when we see a deal, if she negotiates that with the European Union, and we see the detail and the hardline Brexit supporters don't like it. But Mrs. May will hope that if that situation comes about, when the push comes to shove at the final moment, her internal critics will back away as they have done always so far.
Stephen, real quick in 20 seconds, we got to go. But the protests that we've seen, I mean, we've got people who are watching us here in the UK. One person tweeted at me, this is splitting our major parties apart. He was a person who voted to remain. You see those protests. How are people feeling about it?
Well, there was a huge protest. Around about 700,000 people took to the streets. And don't forget, British people generally don't protest. So this was a very big demonstration. But you have to bear in mind that in Britain, 1 million people protested against the war in Iraq, going to war in Iraq, and the war in Iraq still happened. The final action is going to be with Parliament, and Parliament will decide what happens next.
All right, Stephen Castle, thank you very much.
Well, meanwhile, the government spending watchdog has released its report into the potential effects of a no-deal Brexit. It warns that Britain is now out of time to adequately prepare if an agreement is not reached. The National Audit Office says the infrastructure to manage goods in the event of no deal cannot be built in time for Brexit, and businesses relying on smooth border checks will pay the price. Well, the report notes that Britain could lose access to crucial EU security and law enforcement tools if it crashes out without a deal. And if that happens, criminal gangs may exploit weaknesses at the border.
Unlike the state of things in member states, with parliaments initiating legislation, only the European Commission can propose directives or legally binding regulations. Neither the states nor the European Parliament have this power. But these proposals never just fall from the sky. The way it works, the European Commission listens to views across Europe for or against the creation of new laws. At this stage, MEPs are involved in the process, often adopting recommendations. Since 2012, European citizens can also directly request new draft laws. For that, at least 1 million people from no fewer than 7 countries must sign a petition. Having listened to all sides, the European Commission finally presents its bill. This is the start of a long legislative process that generally takes 12 to 18 months. The draft is then sent to the European Council, representing the member states, and the European Parliament, representing the citizens. In 80% of cases, the two institutions have equal power. This is called the ordinary legislative procedure. There's no question of legislating on everything. The Union can make laws on such issues as the environment, agriculture, consumer protection and transport, for example. The list is growing, but the member states retain an absolute veto on social security, on tax, foreign affairs or defence. But back to the bills. Before being adopted, they go through the institutional mill. The European Council and Parliament can amend the draft according to their interests, especially if majority positions emerge. Since member states and MEPs rarely agree first time round, they have to negotiate. There are two possible scenarios. Either the two institutions find a compromise and the draft law can be adopted by MEPs after a vote, or there's no agreement and the negotiations must continue. If the negotiations fail once, the clock starts ticking to find agreement before a certain deadline. If that fails, the bill is simply binned and the whole process starts all over again. But in reality, that happens very rarely. When there's agreement, the new European law is officially adopted and all member states must then apply it. Well, almost. Sometimes member states receive what's known as a derogation, the right to delayed implementation. If they fail to implement, the European Commission, as guardian of the EU treaties, intervenes to punish non-implementation. And if that fails, the European Court of Justice takes over. In the worst cases, states can be ordered to pay heavy fines, but that's another story.
What are we playing a drinking game? I want to go. Never have I ever colonised most of the known world. What am I like? What am I like?
Slider.
May I get your palest, warmest beer, please, Barkeep?
Sorry, this is actually my table.
How about now?
Why are you like this?
Should we pool our money together and, comment dire, get a picture?
Ja, natürlich. It's more efficient when we work together, no?
What? No! My beer will remain sovereign, thank you very much. England out. Scotland, you're coming too.
No, I don't want to. Get off me, big English barbaric! Oh!
You're embarrassing me in front of Germany. What kind of food do you do here? I can't eat anything with chili, pepper, paprika, or flavour. Do you know what? Just bring some sliced white bread to table 4. Cheers.
Oh, it says it's going to be 14 degrees tomorrow.
Where? So, remember earlier when I said I wanted to go to lunch?
Yeah, wait.
Slight mishap, chaps. I seem to have misplaced my wallet. So if you could spot me uno couple euros, that would be super fantastic.
Do you want to just rejoin the table?
Is that an option? I mean, no! Britannia will always have her independence. Save my seat. Sorry about that. Sorry.
That's fine.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't realise that you
Just
were...
give me a f***ing straw.
Never have I ever invented the internet.
Not how you get.
Okay, never have I ever invented the vacuum cleaner.
Shut
up.
Never have I ever invented Benedict
Shut up.
Cumberbatch. Okay, look, guys, come on. I know I'm a bellend sometimes, but come on, I'm fun. I'm a hot mess. Everyone loves a hot mess. Name a bigger hot mess than me. I dare you. Oh, my beer!
Next we have Bino Toivonen, Colonel Hart. Playing now. Dano, Shine Gold Light.
Freedom for us, right here and for everywhere. Only wanna shine gold light on the mountain, shine gold light on the sea. Only wanna shine gold light through the clouds now, shine gold light through the trees, shine gold light, shine gold light. Only wanna shine gold light on the mountain, shine gold light on the sea. Only wanna shine gold light through the clouds now, shine gold light through the trees, shine gold light, shine gold light. Space for us, relief for us. Give it all up for us, right now and forever. Only wanna wanna shine gold light on the mountain, shine gold light on the sea. Only wanna shine gold light through the clouds now, shine gold light through the trees, shine gold light, shine gold light. Only wanna shine gold light on the mountain, shine gold light on the sea. Only wanna shine gold light through the clouds now, shine gold light through the trees, shine gold light, shine gold light. A place for us, release for us, inspired by us right now. A season for us, so many reasons for us right here and everywhere. Time for us, love for us, freedom for us right now and forever. Only wanna shine gold light on the mountain, shine gold light on the sea. Only wanna shine gold light through the clouds now, shine gold light through the trees, shine gold light, shine gold light. Only wanna shine gold light on the mountain, shine gold light on the sea. Only wanna shine gold light through the clouds now, shine gold light through the trees, shine gold light, shine gold light.
Track playing now. Dubspec, Ino Toivonen.
coolest radio station in the world, Radio Ice, from Independent TV and Radio Scotland.
Playing now. Fresh Body Shop, When Comes the Night. Track playing now. C-Stock, Cutting Edge. Next we have Redneck Surfers, Middle East Hell. Playing now. Brianna Grace, Good Machine.
If my mind is in your hands and I obey, then everything's okay. But if I put it in my head, oh God forbid you say I've gone insane. Tightrope walking on this fine line, caged in a circus, I'm losing my mind. Won't bow down to you, won't let you take my life. Your chains have rusted and I'm running. Don't ask no questions if you don't want no lies. Don't need your opinion on how I live my life. I stood before you, knew me, I stood after you. Tried to turn me into plastic and things to me like a machine, machine, machine. Machine, machine, machine. Good machine. I'm not your puppet, I'm not weak like before. Won't sit by your bullshit for me. Machine, machine, machine. Good machine. I want to be flesh and bone, warm and bleeding, not empty and cold. And if I die, at least I know I was human and not a clone. Tightrope walking on this fine line, caged in a circus, I am losing my mind. Won't bow down to you, won't let you take my life. Your chains have rusted and I'm running. Don't ask no questions if you don't want no lies. Don't need your opinion on how I live my life. I stood before you, knew me, I stood after you. Tried to turn me into plastic and things to me like a machine, machine, machine. Machine, machine, machine. Good machine. I'm not your puppet, machine, guard my shame. I'm more than we say on your assembly line. Process completed. Deaf and dumb and blind. I'm so done with you and all this shit you put me through. Don't ask no questions if you don't want no lies. Don't need your opinion on how I live my life. I stood before you, knew me, I stood after you. Pride is honey, it's too plastic, it makes me like a machine, machine, machine. Machine, machine, machine. Good machine. I'm not your puppet, I'm not weak like before. Sit by your bullshit for me. Machine, machine, machine. Good machine.
You're listening to Independent TV and Radio Scotland, Channel Radio Ice.
Track playing now. Michelle Channel, In My Blood.
Walking through the trees, I see faces in the leaves of the prior generations that make up my family. I can feel the love, furrowed eyebrows from above. Wonder if they hear my questions, if my voice is loud enough. They're in my blood and in my bones. My life is made of star and stones. I didn't get this far on my own. They're in my blood and in my bones. Underneath the stars, she is munching candy bars, leaving crumbs and sticky traces on the leaves of grandmothers. Shouting about love to the rustling above. Wonder if they hear her questions, if her voice is loud enough. They're in my blood and in my bones. My life is made of star and stones. I didn't get this far on my own. They're in my blood and in my bones. And yours. And yours. And yours. And yours.
Playing now. Color Out, Mistaken.
How it feels, tell me
Next up is Steve Blakely, the terror of Highway 101.
He wore black denim trousers and motorcycle boots, a black leather jacket with an eagle on the back. He had a hopped-up Harley that took off like a gun, and he was called the terror of Highway 101. When I was just a young boy, I heard a story told about an outlaw biker who was always on the road. They called him wild as fire and free as raging wind, and meaner than a werewolf when he's on a drunken binge. His engine roared like thunder as flames streaked out his pipes, and he was called the terror when his bike lit up the night. He wore black denim trousers and motorcycle boots, a black leather jacket with an eagle on the back. He had a hopped-up Harley that took off like a gun, and he was called the terror of Highway 101. Girlfriend whose name was Mary Lou, and she would do what she was told to prove her love was true. But his first love was his Harley, and he loved to ride alone, and his second was the black top on Highway 101. The bros all called him crazy, cause he rode that center line, and he ran his bike wide open just to hear that engine whine. In black denim trousers and motorcycle boots, a black leather jacket with an eagle on the back. He had a hopped-up Harley that took off like a gun, and he was called the terror of Highway 101. There came a night not fit for man or beast, with howling winds and lightning bolts and rain that filled the streets. The fog rolled in as thick as smoke and thunder shook the ground, and way off in the distance came that motorcycle sound. The semi-truck had lost control on Highway 101, and before the terror seen it, he hit that truck head on. He wore black denim trousers and motorcycle boots, a black leather jacket with an eagle on the back. He had a hopped-up Harley that took off like a gun, and he was called the terror of Highway 101. He wore black denim trousers and motorcycle boots, a black leather jacket with an eagle on the back. He had a hopped-up Harley that took off like a gun, and he was called the terror of Highway 101. He wore black denim trousers and motorcycle boots, a black leather jacket with an eagle on the back. He had a hopped-up Harley that took off like a gun, and he was called the terror of Highway 101.
Next up is Redneck Surfers, Fire.
Who were murdered by Joe Rolling Sam. You brought the war around the globe. Money or skills, stone and all you girls heading in off the glass. All you girls
You're listening to Independent TV and Radio Scotland. Channel Radio ICE.
Track playing now. Rudy Roger, Whomper. Next up is Fresh Body Shop, Godstown.
I don't even know the way back. Thanks for coming over last night. I love the
Next we have Dano, It's You.
light. I heard your song on the radio, and I smiled the whole time. Oh Lord, the trouble we can find. Whether the sun shines, whether it rains, it's you. You're a part of me. When I'm not with you, I feel you in my veins. It's you in the very heart of me. I feel a bit silly for drinking and crying. I guess there's still so much sadness underlying my gladness. Thanks for being so sweet to me through it. I just wanted you to know that my spirit is lifted. Whether the sun shines, whether it rains, it's you. You're a part of me. When I'm not with you, I feel you in my veins. It's you in the very heart of me. I feel like I've been away from you for so long, like love that waits a minute and can't wait no more. On the shore with no protection, opened up to the world, in an ocean so endless every teardrop makes ripples into waves and waves into worlds, worlds that come and go. Well, I wait for you. I really loved waking up with you today. I only wish we could have had the whole day to play. It's just a shame we couldn't sleep in together. All tangled up and safe from the snowy weather. Whether the sun shines, whether it rains, it's you. You're a part of me. When I'm not with you, I feel you in my veins. It's you in the very heart of me. It's you. You're a part of me. It's you.
Now playing Brielle Rafton and Colin Jeffries, A Few More.
We're so small. I don't think we ever questioned it, but maybe we should question it after all. And our power is strong. No, I don't remember saying it, but I should have said it all along. That I think we should have shot a few more pictures, shared a few more kisses, got a few more feelings, foreshadowed every ceiling that we reached. I think I'm asking you to leave. not our fault. I just don't think we ever took the time to stop ourselves before we hit this wall. We should have shot a few more pictures, shared a few more kisses, got a few more feelings. We shattered every ceiling that we reached. Shot a few more pictures, shared a few more kisses, got a few more feelings. We shattered every ceiling that we reached. I regret nothing. I regret nothing. I regret nothing, nothing. I regret nothing. But I wish for just a few more pictures, a few more kisses, a few more feelings. We shattered every ceiling that we reached. I really think that this is best, but it doesn't make it easier for me. Shot a few more pictures, shot a few more kisses, got a few more feelings. We shattered every ceiling that we reached. Shot a few more pictures, shot a few more kisses, got a few more feelings. We shattered every ceiling that we reached. A few more pictures, shared a few more kisses, got a few more feelings, but a few more battles, a few more smiles, held a few more moments, cried a few more tears. I regret nothing. I regret nothing.
Coolest radio station in the world, Radio Ice, from Independent TV and Radio Scotland.
Next up is Orion James, Perfect.
Yeah, I nearly lost my mind, trying to figure out a way to make you understand. I can go on another day, baby, I was wrong, been confused and led astray. Just give me one more chance, cause I can't take what's happening. Have you ever loved someone, tried to take it back but the damage is done? Thought of losing you makes me feel so sad. I'm gonna sleep when it feels this bad. I know enough's enough, it's going to be tough to get through this. I'll never be perfect, I'll never be cool, I'll always be nothing unless I'm with you. Cause you make me perfect, tell me what can I do? The pieces I'm missing when I'm not with you. You make me. You make me. not deserve it, but have you really lost our faith? You know inside that we're worth it. There's so much left for us to say. Baby, I was lost, or maybe I was just afraid. Could you please forgive me and hold me in your arms again? If you ever loved someone, try to take it back, but the damage is done. Oh yeah, thought losing you makes me feel so sad. I'm gonna sleep when it feels this bad. I know enough's enough, it's going to be tough to get through this. I'll never be perfect, I'll never be cool, I'll always be nothing unless I'm with you. Could you make me perfect? Tell me what can I do? The pieces I'm missing when I'm not with you. You make me. Cause it isn't true. Everything I need is here with you. Everything I see so clear with you. Everything I dream appears with you. Everything would be so damn perfect. Oh yeah. I'll never be perfect. I'll never be cool. I'll never be nothing unless I'm with you. Could you make me perfect? Tell me what can I do? What can I do, baby? The pieces I'm missing when I'm not with you. Cause you make me so come, baby. When I meet you, baby, you make me, yeah, come on, baby. So perfect, so perfect. You make me. Oh, perfect, no.
Now playing. Marion Call and Molly Lewis, Space Weird Thing.
Ground control to top spaceman. Ground control to top spaceman. Take your small food rocks and put your head safe on. Ground control to top spaceman.
10 less 1. 10 less 2.
Start the numbers down with fires on.
5. 4.
Check the start thing and may God's love be with you.
1. Up go.
This is ground control to top spaceman. You're really first in class. And the papers want to know
was definitely an e-ticket.
Roger that, Sally.
Next up is Jeff Hurley, Anything Can Happen.
I can't seem to find the words to make it alright. Miscommunication seems to dominate the day. I'm trying hard to make it through the night. I don't understand a single thing you've been saying. Nothing seems to make any sense at all. All the best intentions disappear into thin air. We disagree and hit another wall. I wish it would stop. I wish I could make it go away. Make it disappear into the night. Anything can happen when you give your heart away. Anything can happen any day. Tell me I'm wrong, I don't belong. Tell me I'm to blame. Maybe I'm right, maybe tonight we can end this game. I don't understand a single thing you've been saying. Nothing seems to make any sense at all. All the best intentions disappear into thin air. We disagree and hit another wall. I wish it would stop. I wish I could make it go away. Make it disappear into the night. Anything can happen. It could happen any day. Anything can happen any day. Can happen any day.
Track playing now. Daniel Kaur, Stand.
The road it goes ever on, they say. And if you're not careful, it'll sweep you right into the fray. Where all that you know isn't all that you thought it would be. You're looking for a home, and on our way as we wander the caverns inside. We'll stand together today, 'cause this dark may yet lead us to light. Brother, will you stand with me? Will you lift me when I fall? Lift me when I fall. Brother, I'll stand with you through all of this darkness till the light breaks through. As brothers we'll stand, as brothers we'll stand, as brothers we'll stand.
You're listening to Independent TV and Radio Scotland, Channel Radio Ice.
Now playing Dansberg music, You Keep Turning Away.
Since yes, you know I like you, but you never care for me. You were my favorite girl in school, but there was no chance for me. The way you moved, the way you talked, the way you looked, the way you walked. What is the secret about you? Don't look away from me, don't you feel the same like me? But you keep turning and you keep turning, you keep turning away from me. You keep turning and you keep turning, you keep turning away from me. I know everything about you, even what you did after school every day. Sometimes I try to impress you, but you're always gone away. The way you moved, the way you talked, the way you looked, the way you walked. And see, you do it in a totally different way, but they're still the same in me. But you keep turning, you keep turning, you keep turning away from me. You keep turning, you keep turning, you keep turning away from me. Can you tell me what I took before you let me like I love you? Have you ever felt what I feel now?
Next up is We Is Sure Dedicated, Marty.
Marty, while you are an angel in my villain's heart, Marty, that makes you a common devil, hoisted on your own petard. Marty, while you're solving puzzles, chewing pencils, cracking heads, someone's laying bricks down for the foundation in the cold mud of the ravine that splits our land. All I had to give does magnetize. Listen to the record. Oh, my thought-worn squiggle in the tracks. Listen to the record. Marty, if they ask you what it means, listen to the record. And it's like I never left. You can live and breathe and give. Listen to the record. Cops around your collar, they have the power. Well, I know what it takes. Lord, I know what it takes. You've been arrested, pinched and molested. Well, I know what's in store. I know what's in store. There's a sale on party favors, and you're that pinata, but I'll hit the bottle instead. died, but you're still singing. World died, but you're still singing. Released by severed paw, released by severed paw, released by severed paw. All I had to give does magnetize. Listen to the record. All my thought once squiggled in the track. Listen to the record. Marty, if they ask you what it means, listen to the record. And it's like I never left. You can live and breathe and give. Listen to the
Playing now. Brian Boyko, folk song. Track playing now. Morgan Greed, Damaged Goods.
When you're broke down, you can't be fixed. And all the women in the neighborhood, they say you're damaged
They say they go damaged. There goes damaged goods. Carmelita, are you leaving me too? I come home after a long, long day to find another big yellow truck driving away. But that's what it feels like when you're broke down. Well, when you're broke down, you can't be fixed. And all the women in the neighborhood, they say you're damaged. They say they go damaged. They go damaged goods. Young Selena, those old women you say, what do they know? You think you're in love because you couldn't keep your hands off of me at the dog show. But to be honest with you, if I could, I'd leave me too. 'Cause that's what it feels like when you're broke down. When you're broke down, you cannot be fixed. And all the women in the neighborhood, they say you're damaged. They say they go damaged. They go damaged too.
You're listening to Independent TV and Radio Scotland. Channel Radio ICE.
Playing now. Fallen Angels, Footsteps.
While there's days in my eyes,
to catch you when you fall. Illuminations, realize tomorrow will not be a perfect day, but I just want to tell you that moment was beautiful. Should I just stay for the sunset? If not for me, for the sunset. If not, peace you can give me is the only thing I need. Is the only thing I need. Is the only thing I need. Peace you can give me is the only thing I need. Is the only thing I need. Is the only thing I for the sunset.
I got an old Harley that I don't ride. She's covered with a tarp, and I keep her inside. I bought her brand new back.
Now playing. Steve Blackley, Notion for Motion.
But she ain't for sale. But she's still my pride. Every once in a while, I roll her out. She's such a pretty bike, it makes me wanna shout. A pretty motorcycle out and what it's all about. And when I look at her, oh, there ain't no doubt that one of these days I get the notion to fill her up with gas and put her wheels in motion. up, well, I'll be long, long gone. Every dog has a day and I had mine. Filled her up with gas and got the engine primed. And she fired right up when she was kicked the first time. And I waved goodbye at that city limit sign. 'Cause I had the day when I got that notion. I filled her up with gas and put her wheels in motion. I left this morning in the early dawn, and when the world woke up, well, I was long, long gone. You see my taillights. You see them. I had the day when I got the notion. I filled her up with gas and put her wheels in motion. I left this morning in the early dawn, and when the world woke up, well, I was long, long gone. I had the day when I got the notion. I filled her up with gas and put her wheels in motion. I left this morning in the early dawn, and when the world woke up, well, I was long, long gone.
Next we have Manny the Martyr, Be That Way.
These people wandering by, and I'm thinking that they all look the same. Spending entire lives blending in, and I think it's such a shame. Hardly speaking, sometimes tweaking their lives away. Whoa. Sometimes cursing, some reversing, but somebody's got to step up and say, yeah, losing sight or compromising it. Who is to blame? Yeah, take a chance or second glance. It don't have to be this way. Yeah. Crowded streets as I walk at night, but the city feels asleep. Everyone is on their Bluetooth sets and staring at their feet. Whatever happened to the world we love, or to the world we know? It seems uncertain where we're going, but I do not want to go. Whoa, losing sight or compromising it. Who is to blame? Yeah, take a chance or second glance. It don't have to be this way. just second glance. It don't have to be this way.
Life's a foolish game.
Next up is Snowflake, a foolish game.
Turn the ship another way. Feel it in the darkness. Sailing right into those jagged cliffs. Yeah. Some say we've always been insane. Hey, life's a foolish game. Simple equation from an enclosed system. Natural world gone missing. Plus all our CO2 emissions equals degradation. Waste and shifts and mass extinctions. Oh no. But maybe we can change. We sure can't stay the same. 'Cause life's a foolish, foolish game. Solution, rewire our connection, maybe less consumption, emerging from a mind of isolation, revalue all that we've been given. God don't work on commission. We make up one big breathing chain, we're quite the same. Hey, life's a foolish, foolish game. Life's a foolish game. Do you ever feel the same? Well, maybe we could change and turn the ship another way. Take less than we've been given if we move in that direction. Yeah. We'll find our place in this living chain. We're quite the same. Yeah, life's a foolish, foolish game. Life's a foolish game. Hey, life's a foolish game. Life's a foolish game.
The coolest radio station in the world, Radio Ice, from Independent TV and Radio Scotland.
Next up is Steve Blakely, Modern Cowboys of Today.
USA. Well, who camps out on the open range and who stays warm by the campfire flames, drinking their whiskey straight from the jug, shooting their guns 'cause it's the life that they love. Well, tell me, who are the modern cowboys of today? The cowboy had a code to protect his own, and wherever the cowboy camped was a cowboy's home. Who still sleeps with a gun in his hand, and who's still ready to take a stand? Who'd rather die in the dead of night than to lose his gear without giving a fight? Well, tell me, who are the modern cowboys of today? The cowboy loved his horse more than his lady true, but who loves today in the way that they used to do? They wear rawhide gloves and some even chaps, They ride iron horses with bags and packs, and you call them outlaws that don't belong. They're wild and crazy, full of fire and fun, but tell me, who are the modern cowboys of today?